welcome to the Conquistabores. Tonight, the Conquistabores declare war on WCW World War III 1995. A triple threat team of Rowdy Ewan Taylor, Mr. Wonderful Cameron Phillips, Superfly Phil Doyle take on a 3-ring 60-man battle royal only on the Conquistadores.
Welcome again to the Conquistadores.
Hooray!
Conquistadores.
Wrestling.
Yes.
After the World Cup, the whole Spanish thing doesn't sound as impressive.
Doesn't anymore.
No.
Really.
Speaking
the
of
Conquistadores, back on a plane. Yeah.
Speaking of Jordi Juan,
Yeah, he got called up to play for Spain.
did he?
Let's see.
Is that why they're out of the World Cup?
Yeah, pretty much. You should have noticed him. I don't think he made it off the bench, but there was definitely Jordi Juan.
Just warming up the bench. Going, come on,
Yeah.
put me up a torch, Gaffer. I can do it. I can do a job. I can get on that pitch. I can score a goal.
He can do. I have played football with Alan. It's brilliant.
Is it?
He's genius because he still wears the glasses wherever he goes.
Oh, Jesus.
So the game was whenever Al was in goal, just batter it in his face to see
Yeah, I was
who
going to say,
his
get the
glasses.
glasses.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
that's
'Cause you just
cruel.
get the occasional cry of "Fucking hell! Stop the game! I can't find my fucking glasses." It's great.
That's when you know you've won the game.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that.
We
Does
work
it-
in opticians.
Does that
Yeah.
count as a goal if you do that? If you get in the glasses, does that count as like a goal point?
It did when I was playing.
No, fair enough.
It's like Gaelic football. It's worth more if you get one.
Yeah, it is. If Al's glasses fall off, you've automatically got double.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So Al's not here tonight, which means it's a triple threat podcast.
Indeed.
it is.
With,
And how appropriate.
yes, yes, it is.
Yeah. If this had like Sonic Ring style titles, you just know it would be a ring each.
Oh.
That's kind of gross
Yeah, I know.
and sexually aggressive. I'm not sure I can stand for that.
I like
Sorry.
Sorry, yeah. We'll go for that. Yes, so it's just me, Phil Doyle, and Cameron and Ewan over there to talk about this week's pay-per-view. WCW World War III, 1995.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, the theory being that when we did Survivor Series 1995 last month, you wanted to see what was on the other side at exactly the same time, pretty
Yeah,
much.
that was my fault, wasn't it? I'll
It really was.
I'll take the blame for that one. Which we'll
Yeah.
we'll get to that in a few minutes. But I thought we might chat about some wrestling news, which was the layoffs they've had from the WWE, all the people being kicked out.
Finally, JTG was found and was fired.
Do you think
Where's he been hiding?
they reckon they just
Somewhere.
they just opened up a cupboard looking for like a mop, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Hey, there he is!"
That was going to be the next episode of WWF Warehouse. They'll find JTG.
hiding in one of the rings.
What, hiding in one of the Undertaker's old caskets?
Sure.
But obviously, the most heartbreaking news of this was the sad now breakup of 3MB,
Yeah.
which I felt a bit sad for because I know they're like a comedy act and they're a bit stupid, but in that WLC match, they probably put themselves out there.
Yes.
They took a few nasty bumps, especially I think it was it Jinder Mahal? No, it was he took like a big kind of like back suplex off the rope, bringing through 2 ladders in the table.
Yeah, it looked like it sucked.
Yeah, so I feel sorry for him, only up to a certain point. That point being Hornswoggle.
Drew's already taking bookings in Scotland because I know that he's already scheduled for our local promotion in Kilmarnock.
Yeah, I saw you on your Facebook. You were
So that's going to be me trying to hold Lisa back. That's going to be good fun.
Hey. Awesome. And there's probably a spot waiting for Drew McIntyre, or Drew Galloway rather, in ICW.
Oh, hell yes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think,
There'll be a ready-made spot for him.
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm waiting with bated breath the surprise appearance of one Mr. McIntyre.
You don't think he'll be like snapped up by TNA or that global? What's it called? Global Pro, whatever it's called.
I don't even want to look at that. That's just a breathing disaster waiting to happen.
Just no. Yeah, so a lot of people normally it happens quite close to WrestleMania. Well, in my mind it happens close to WrestleMania. It's like the next show after tends to be when they bring all the people in, isn't it? So
Yeah,
They do usually spend April kind of clearing out the decks, like in years gone by. But
Yeah.
so this time they're waiting until the sort of start of the summer, really.
yeah, So yeah, buy 3MB. I feel, you know, I want to get one of those T-shirts that have been. I think Mick Foley's been putting on Facebook, the kind of 3MB tour T-shirts. I think that'd be good.
Oh.
Don't sound so patronising.
I'm sick of Mick Foley being a whore at this point.
He's got to be though, hasn't he?
I know, but there's being a whore, then there's being a whore.
But didn't he? He didn't. Like, he hasn't renewed his Legends contract, has he?
I don't know.
No, he hasn't, because it was partly the payout that he got from being featured in WWE 13 video game and WWE 2K14 wasn't, in his opinion, high enough.
Yeah,
he could have understood the WWE 13 one, because that was when THQ went under and maybe they couldn't afford it. But this year, apparently, the payout remained the same.
Yeah.
So, and he didn't think that was anywhere near as good. And so he doesn't really want to sign his Legends contract.
Yeah, hence the whoring to get the money so he can, you know, live out his Father Christmas fantasies as much as he can.
Yeah, there's I think Foley's he's you know how you get what I was talking about a couple of months ago. You don't want to meet wrestlers who you think are going to be arses in real life.
Yeah,
correct.
I think that Mick Foley wouldn't be an arse. He seems like a nice fella, but he seems ridiculously thin-skinned.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Like anything.
If you read Mick Foley's books, every single when Tony Schiavone has the whole thing about Mankind, you know, over on their show at the moment, Mankind's winning their world title because that'll put butts on seats. There's a whole chapter in his book about how he had to phone Schiavone and to find out why Schiavone said that and had to do this and had to do that. And you're kind of thinking, wouldn't you just think, yeah, we beat them in the ratings, fuck them.
Yeah, Stone Cold wouldn't care at all, would he? Stone Cold would be like, screw it.
Yeah, you wouldn't go ringing him and just all these little stories of Foley just being ridiculously sensitive to anything.
But we're not talking about old wrestlers. We're talking about we are talking about old wrestlers, aren't we? Because Ric Flair's in this pay-per-view. We're going to talk about World War III.
Yes, we are, from 1995 from Norfolk, Virginia.
WCW declares war.
WCW declares war. With the biggest battle royal in wrestling history. World Championship Wrestling wages World War III. 60 international superstars from around the globe. Prepare for combat like the wrestling world has never seen before. Let's get ready! It's all out war. 3 rings. 3 giants. 1 battle royal. It's WCW's World War III.
You want to have Al's little piece on this now, because in lieu of him actually being here, he's currently away, probably in a pub somewhere in the Lake District, drinking basically warm soup, or real ale, as he likes to call it.
Gross.
So, wouldn't we read what he's written to me?
Go for it.
Right, this is Al's solitary contribution to tonight's show. Right?
To Portrait Corner.
Ready for it.
If you could film, maybe find a sound effect for this, like a waves lapping against
I'll
the show.
find the our song from the Simon Bates radio thing.
Let's go.
So that'll start now.
My 14-year-old self would have loved the concept of this. 60 men in 3 rings. I've always loved the Rumble matches and the Battle Royals. However, in my later years, whilst Rumbles have kept their charm, Battle Royals have just become rope-hugging bore fests at times. Prime example, Raw last week. My 14-year-old self would have loved the amount of ex-WWF talent: Hogan, Savage, Flair, Duggan, Bossman, IRS, Anderson, Hawk, Powers of Pain, Akeem, Mr. Wonderful, Nasty Boys, Haku, Beefcake and Earthquake. Also an up-and-coming Jerry Lynn and some humours named Yeti and Big Train Bart. I was surprised to see the voice of Darth Vader in there. Oh sorry, it's James Earl Wright. And the gentleman who needs to be dealt with by the Trade Description Act, Mike Winner. So after a mediocre undercard which features a terrible taped fist match, the same participants are featured in a forgettable showcase just before the 90 Rumble got underway. I think he means 60-man Rumble, but never mind.
Makes sense,
Here we are, 5 years on. WCW were trying to get as much as they could from Vinnie Mac's established WWF talent. sometimes with disastrous effects, see the Dungeon of Doom, and sometimes with gold, see NWO Original Formation. This trend continues with the ending of the mess of the Battle Royal that is entertaining if not difficult to follow at times, and it looks like we're back in 1989 with the Mega Powers exploding. Is there no WWF story WCW wouldn't recycle? Fast forward to 98 and it's the Ultimate Warrior's reflection in Hogan's mirror. I must confess and state that this is the only 60-man match I've watched, and I didn't see any of the undercard. I've just read the reviews, but as a one-off, it's an interesting match. A yearly event, probably not. And I've seen some heavily jobber-filled WWF one-ring 40-man Battle Royals, Go Dublin Destroyer, and also enjoyed them. But it may only be my 14-year-old eyes again. They once found WWF magazine photo shoot of Alundra Blaze the height of pornography. It's a prime example of the era of wrestling in my mind wants to conserve. I was never the biggest WCW fan, I admit, but we're trying to achieve with this pay-per-view. I wonder if my colleagues agree. And then he puts, hope sometimes Cam mentions that I've wrote it in the pub whilst watching the England game. And then at the end it just says train tickets. I think that's a work thing, I'm not sure. So there you go, that's Al's sole contribution to tonight.
I think that's kind of summarised the podcast quite nicely, though. I think that's...
Yeah, there you go.
Job done.
Thanks, Al.
Right, we'll expand on that a bit further now, I think.
Sure.
The first thing I want to talk about before we actually get into the actual kind of show itself was that, in typical PP fashion, you get like a wide shot of the arena, and you get like the logo in the corner and the name of the arena where the PP is taking place. Like normally happens at the beginning of most PPs. Now this is in 1995, so we're after the Gulf War, but before like the Iraq War and stuff. So war's kind of still good and stuff, which I'm guessing why they could get away with a plane flying in and dropping in the letters of the arena as a bomb that explode when they hit the bottom of the ground.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
I guess that was fine. That was fine, was
that's
it?
totally fine. That's okay. It's America.
It's America.
Yeah.
So you have a bomber fly in and drop the words as bombs and then just fly off.
Yep. It's all fine.
That's all fine. That's okay. And also, it secondly leads on this wide shot of the arena showing the kind of three rings in the middle. Show the problem of a 3-ring 60-man battle royal. In that, for the entire pay-per-view, you've got 3 rings in the middle of the arena.
Just there.
Just there. Just like with the lights off, taking up valuable seating areas of the arena, just kind of there. And it's like, it looks a bit silly.
Yeah, but WCW did have a kind of passion for these kind of ridiculous notions, didn't they? It was like some of them are really good, like War Games in the double ring, double kind of Hell in a Cell type effort. Yeah. That's really good, right?
But again, you're left with a ring for the entire pay-per-view.
Yeah, you're left with like 2 rings. But I did actually write down during the first match, we'll get to in a minute. I did actually say, "Can you move to another ring?" my answer was soon given. I was like, they've got the two other rings in complete darkness, and they're allowed to go to another ring. Right.
There we go then.
I will find out later on what the answer was.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it looks kind of, I don't know, it doesn't look right, from what I think that's why Vince has never kind of taken that, because I think he knows enough to kind of think, but that doesn't look right. It looks kind of amateurish having those kind of rings sat there, so we'll just stick to the one ring and drop in the stuff from above for the cells or whatever. So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It must have been a bit strange being in the audience for this one, because as you say, is there not like one group of people that are stuck between 2 rings?
Yeah, they're kind of, it's like about a row, it's about 6 people wide, and they're kind of like in this little island of people in between the kind of, which could, would be cool if they kind of worked it into the the match a bit more, but they're just kind of sat there. Yeah,
it's just a bit nuts, really.
Speaking a bit nuts, commentary team.
Yeah, Schiavone and Heenan.
Tony Schiavone and Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yeah.
Now we have given kudos to Bobby Heenan before in this podcast.
Oh, he's a legend.
Well, yeah, he's an absolute legend with obviously WrestleMania 8 and the like. But what do we think of Heenan at the start here? Because he kind of does recycle the whole thing he's got at was it King of the Ring 93 when we did that? He was there?
Yeah. He's kind of not quite on his game, kind of.
Yeah, he's there kind of going, pick me a winner within the first few minutes, and then doing the heel thing of, I'll just change my mind about the winner.
Yeah,
I'll tell you later on.
Yeah, exactly. And have you noticed also as well how Tony Schiavone, when he's not talking, just looks really worried?
He's worried like the sky's going to like fall on top of his head or something.
His natural facial expression is just to look really concerned about something.
I did enjoy right at the beginning, as they were introducing the show, they listed off every single ex-WWF talent that was now on WCW as part of their team. I thought at one point he was going to start announcing, and Bobby the Popcorn Guy, he came over.
Well, because by 95, quite a few of them had moved over, hadn't they? You know, Macho Man's over by now, and Luger's moved over in the last couple of months, and he kind of come back, and Duggan's come over.
Yeah, you've people like Dusty, you've got...
Probably the Bushwhackers, I expect, I don't know, but they're probably out back somewhere doing something.
Hawk's in it as well.
Yeah.
Come over. Earthquake as...
the Shark.
The Shark, yeah.
Oh,
Jesus.
Yeah, so there's a lot of old sort of... Basically, most of them, dregs, that have come over from WWF. When the WWF had to kind of change a little bit.
Yeah. Well, are they come over because they're pals with Hogan? I mean, I'm assuming that's why Jimmy Hart and Beefcake are over there, because Hogan's got him a paycheck. Essentially.
Oh yeah.
They see Hogan, they see money, they go there.
Yeah, we'll go where that place is. Speaking of where the money is, how about that internet?
Ah, yes.
Apparently we can chat about this pay-per-view on CompuServe.
As we are talking to you, you can also talk on CompuServe online with many of the top superstars in World Championship Wrestling live tonight during World War III. Just type Go Conventions for live electronic chat with WCW superstars only on CompuServe as we bring you our telecast here tonight.
Did anyone love the craptastic CompuServe logo as much as I did?
It was amazing.
Oh yeah, it was brilliant.
It was brilliant. So from the mid-90s, it wasn't even funny.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose you are really starting to talk about, 95, you're going to be starting to talk about, the internet creeping into wrestling in a big way.
It's not going to be like, until 97 or 98 when it kind of properly, the smart marks and ECW and all that kind of, I think, firmly come into the audience.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But the beginning segment sort of hints towards maybe the internet beginning to come into play.
You reckon?
Yeah, but it's not, you wouldn't have, at this stage, you wouldn't have, internet dirt sheets.
No, I suppose.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have the internet, giving away storylines and all this kind of stuff.
You'd have the message boards and stuff.
You'd have message boards and stuff like that.
But you'd have to go really looking for it. It wouldn't be up to that kind of level.
Yeah. You're probably in the honeymoon period between the internet coming into wrestling before it sort of started to, as some might see it, detract from the product.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But speaking of detracting from the product, how about this opening promo?
Nice little segue, I set you up.
How about this promo? So Mean Gene's there, because obviously Mean Gene's come over, and we've got a three-way promo with Macho Man, Sting, and Hulk Hogan dressed in black.
Yeah.
What madness is this?
Just needs Thunder in Paradise gear.
Because if I get this right, I watched the Halloween Havoc that precedes this. It kind of fills in the feud that Hogan was having with the Dungeon of Doom and the Giants. And at some point during that feud with the Giant, he started dressing in black because he was going down the dark side? Because he was grumpy?
I think it was the whole idea was going to go down the dark side because that's the only way he could defeat the Dungeon of Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got Hogan in touch with his darkness and all this kind of rub. Kind of similar to what the Bray Wyatt John Cena thing would.
Yeah, but obviously done significantly better.
Yeah, although Cena wouldn't change for a million bloody years. He wouldn't wear black at all, would he?
No. But also, I think if he was Hogan, he wouldn't shave off his moustache like Hogan did.
No, I noticed that. It took me a couple of seconds to go, hold on, the moustache is gone. The Fu Manchu is dead.
Did anyone else get a bit freaked out by that? It's just like, that's wrong.
It's just weird.
It's like seeing Tom Selleck without his moustache. It's like, no.
Don't even speak of that.
Why have you done this? But it's all fine because he rips off the black and he's got his red and yellow underneath and he throws his black into a bin that spontaneously combusts.
That's after Sting had to retrieve it because he sort of missed.
Yeah. And the bin just caught fire.
Sure. I get the feeling that was supposed to happen a couple of seconds earlier.
Possibly.
But my God.
It's like ill-timed and an advert for fire safety.
Yeah, because when that thing goes, it's proper going, isn't it?
It's proper burning.
And Macho Man's there with his jacket with all the big dangly things hanging over it. I was genuinely concerned for his safety at one point.
I don't think Macho Man's selling for the fire. That was good.
Like, don't stop the spins, Macho. You're gonna catch light in a second.
Yeah, because that looks like it's going to go up fairly quick if that catches fire.
Yeah.
That jacket does not look
It doesn't
safe
look.
in that environment.
It doesn't look like it's made for the most natural of materials, does it? Let's be honest.
No.
But luckily, the Stinger, the good guy that he is, jumps to it and like pours a bucket of water over it to put it out.
It's not even a bucket, it's a bottle of
Yeah.
water.
Bottle. It's like
One
a
of the
drinks
tech
bottle
guys.
he's got, yeah.
Yeah, mid promo, he's like, you know what, guys? I think I should actually put this out because one of us is going to die up here.
Yeah.
So after all that, I don't really know what happens to the promo because I was just like focused on the fire safety aspect of the whole thing.
Well, the promo is basically, I'll be your friend forever, brother, and it's all good. And you're kind of thinking, they're declaring friendship for each other and how they're all going to bond together. This is going to go horribly wrong later on this evening, obviously.
I took a walk to the dark side, brother. If I would have taken the final step, maybe I wouldn't be here with my two best friends tonight. But, brother, now I know who my friends are, man. And tonight, the dark side of Hulk Hogan, brother, will be no more, brother. The dark side of Hulk Hogan is over, brother.
There'll be some twist later on, won't there? There'll be some swerve.
Yeah, you're thinking,
There we go.
Wink.
So, I mean, you've got really there kind of three big names still, though. I mean, Sting is still like, one of the marquee WCW names, and Hogan obviously, brought over his audience and stuff. So, it's quite a heavy-hitting promo. It's not exactly, top draw quality, but you've got money on that stage there, really.
To me, it just seemed to be a giant "Let's Blow Hulk Hogan" promo. It always came back to Hogan in the end.
I will never ever again question Sting. Macho Man's my friend. Sting has stuck by me since day one. I want to be your friend forever. When you're wrong, and I was wrong, and I just want to say I'm sorry. You're the coolest dude in the world.
Isn't that essentially every Hogan promo after 1989?
Well, okay, I suppose, but this
Pretty
seems
much, yeah.
more obvious. If that makes sense.
What? Are you suggesting that Sting would do that?
I couldn't possibly say.
I don't think he would. Not the Stinger. Not the Stinger. Not even, Raven Sting would do that. Let's move off this dark topic of conversation.
let's go.
On to Diamond Dallas Page having lady trouble.
They've actually missed a bit.
Have I? What's that?
Promo. Yes, you've missed the key part of the promo
Oh, go on
where
then.
they burn a piece of paper.
Oh, what was that bit of paper? Was that like his...
That was meant to represent the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Was that what it was?
Yes.
Oh, because isn't it...
As the promo states, apparently Macho was hurt and Hogan was not going to win the title. And basically Hogan burns it as a sign of, we don't play by this, the internet doesn't know anything, these dirt sheets don't know anything, we'll do our thing, Macho Man's fit, I'm ready to go, etc. So it's really just a giant up yours to Meltzer, essentially.
And how did that work out over the rest of the show, I wonder?
Yeah.
Actually, I went to Diamond Dallas Page.
Diamond Dunk?
Diamond Dunk.
Dennis Page.
Diamond Dallas Page. No, I'm not racist. Yeah, he's having lady troubles with, is it the Diamond Doll? Has she even got a name?
Kimberly.
Kimberly, that's it, yeah. But she's really stilted. I'm kind of thinking, why would you want her as a valet? Because she looks kind of rubbish.
Have you seen have you seen Kimberly later on in WCW, like she's sort of 1999, 2000 WCW?
Would we refer back to kind of Al's photo shoot kind of talk here, or?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, I'll Google image that later once we're done with the podcast.
That's why you want her as a valet. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. But I like Diamond Dallas Page. He's quite good. I like all the podcasts I've listened to him. He seems like a good fella. He seems like he's always a guy who's kind of worked his way to his position.
Yeah.
So when he comes out with a confetti gun, I'm like, yeah, go Diamond. You're
Have you
not too
noticed
bad.
though how Diamond Dallas Page actually physically looks a lot better now than he did back then?
Yes. That's the DDP yoga, you see.
Yoga works, kids. Yeah, that's what written down. Yoga works.
He didn't have it back then, did he? He was still just doing weights and stuff. He hadn't invented it.
No, he hadn't done. I think it was like he was. I'm trying to remember an interview I read about it, and he said it was at 98.
After he did his back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a massive injury that kind of could have possibly shelved him, and then he started doing it just because he thought he might as well give it a go, and then got really into it, and it really worked for him. So
I don't know if
there you go.
made this comparison that DDP in this match looked awfully like Jeff Jarrett in kind of mid-late 90s WWF.
Oh, with his "Don't Piss Me Off" clothes.
That, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. Actually, yeah.
And he's up against, is it Johnny B. Bad?
Johnny B. Bad, because...
Johnny B. Bad, Mark Merrow.
Yeah.
Because the gun that DDP had was actually Johnny B. Bad's Bad Blaster. Stolen from him. I'm being serious.
But he comes out with flares, though, Johnny B. Bad. He holds like 2
He does come out
flares.
with pyro, which is quite impressive.
We've
Quite
missed
impressive.
the whole stipulation of this match, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, yeah.
The stipulation is, the winner not only gets the WCW World TV title, but wins Kimberly.
Now, I have a big problem.
No, you don't.
Yes, right? Now, there are some times when no matter how progressive wrestling thinks it is, right, there are moments where it will forever be stuck in the backwaters of some bloody tent somewhere in a carnival, right? This is one of those moments.
You reckon? Why is that?
Because, right,
Is it because they're talking about winning a woman in the contest of a wrestling
yeah, pretty
match?
much. You're talking about winning a
Is that
woman
why?
in a fight.
On the mat, the prize, of course, the Diamond Doll, who got a tremendous reaction of the fans when she came out.
Yes, she does.
Yes, she is just a beautiful lady, and also very, very nice as well.
Not only that, but B is the fact that aforementioned woman has put herself up to this.
Yes, this is the main point. It wasn't that DDP said, you can have Kimberly if you win. Kimberly said, you know what? I'm the prize. Take me.
Exactly. And the other thing is, C, Shivani later says, Kimberly's just taking charge. So a woman offering herself as a prize to a man is her taking charge.
Female empowerment.
Female
female
I am
empowerment through the lens of American pro wrestling. Oh, I just shuddered, and I went, "Oh my!"
Don't forget through all this, you got like Bobby Heenan talking trash to her as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this Diamond Dallas Page has got is it like $13 million or something?
Well, I think her heart is with Diamond Dallas, but I think she's doing this purposely to make Johnny B. Bad appreciate her more. She's not going anyplace, Shivani. This man's got $13 million and is on his way to becoming a television champion. She's not going to blow an opportunity like that.
Okay, but let's not forget that although they cannot say it, the assumption is that this is a sexual liaison.
Yeah.
But they can't say that.
No, of course.
But the
Of course
assumption
not.
is obviously, and the innuendo is that this is here, you know, and it's all a bit. It just makes me really cringing and uncomfortable watching this match.
Is that why Johnny B. Bad gets like a 10+ at one point?
Correct.
I was like, oh
Probably.
shit. Because obviously, I've not watched that much WCW this era, so like, this whole kind of era of DDP is kind of lost on me. So did she literally just come out with like signs with numbers on that? She would
Yes.
grade DDP during the match.
Pretty much every time DDP was a 10. Regardless of what he did, he was a 10.
That wasn't the best gimmick, though, was it?
He had better gimmicks.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not a bad match.
It worked for this. It gives us one of the best parts of the match with the 10+ sign. Come on.
Yeah. And
So at least that's one of that's probably the highlight as far as entertainment goes in this match.
Yeah, this match was really clunky at the beginning.
Oh,
It kinda
man,
it gets
it's
going
all just
okay, though.
wrist locks and bloody
Headlock. Don't forget the headlock.
strength.
Yeah. There's a mean headlock in this match. It goes on for about 10 minutes, it feels like. But
Yeah.
So sunset flips that take about 8 millennia to actually get into motion.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But as
It's
it
not as
goes
good
on-
as the sunset flip that DDP nearly puts himself, or does put himself into after he tries to kick Johnny B. Bad in the ribs when Johnny B. Bad's on the ground.
Yes.
Johnny kind of moves and then it leaves. The only thing that Diamond Dallas Page can really do to not look like a tool who's just kicked thin air is to just slip on the other leg and land. And take
Just
the ball.
throw himself backwards as hard
Yeah,
as he possibly
pretty
can.
My leg tripping my leg.
I didn't think DDP doesn't work. He works quite good as a heel in this match. When it kind of gets going towards the end, he does some kind of good heel stuff. But it's not the kind of the awesome kickoff match you really want, though. Really, is it?
No, not really. Not really.
No.
Yeah.
I've just put down here, there's an awful sit-down powerbomb from Johnny B. Bad.
Yes, there is.
I said it's a good effort, but it's really going absolutely bloody nowhere. There's an awful backbreaker that DDP tries, but kind of ends up in just like battering his hip rather than his back.
Do you
'Cause he
think
just
that's?
can't turn him.
Do you think that's Johnny not actually going for the move? Or do you think it's him deliberately not?
Got sandbagging it.
Yeah.
I think he did look like he sandbagged it a little bit.
Yeah.
The most interesting thing on the commentary in this match is that Bobby Heenan does say at one point, none of the 60 participants of the Battle Royal are saying anything to each other backstage, because they all know that it's one man and, can win it and it's every man for himself. And I'm thinking, yeah, there's 60 participants that have not said anything all night, apart from Hogan, Sting, and Savage in the opening promo.
Sure.
Who were all best friends, as we well remember.
Best friends, and we have a faction that are there as well. Right.
Classic WCW logic.
Yeah.
And the ending of this match also just comes out of absolutely bloody nowhere.
I think that's a recurring topic for tonight about the ending of matches kind of just happening.
Yeah, they're just like there. You just look at it and go, oh, right, it was a 3 count. Oh,
it just kind of flops into the ring. And it's like, oh, there you go.
Pretty much.
And the lady wins, I guess, because she gets to go with Johnny B. Bad.
Yeah.
Who she seemed to want to go with anyway. So why not just
go?
Empower yourself as a female and leave the bloke that treats you like crap, and then just go.
Because he has $13 million in diamonds and stuff. Do you not listen to Bobby Heenan? For goodness' sake.
I'm always a bit uncomfortable when in any storyline they have a prize as a wrestling match. It's like, when you had Steve Austin and Vince McMahon fighting over control of the company.
Yeah.
As if at any point anyone would risk control of a bloody company they owned.
But you're not sitting in a caravan in Tennessee, though.
True. I know, maybe overthinking this, don't I?
You probably are. The one thing I would like to bring up is Nick Patrick was clearly empowering himself because that mullet was absolutely amazing.
Oh, it was a good mullet.
Nick Patrick goes to the top of the Conquistadores haircut league.
He hasn't got his moustache, though, has he?
I couldn't stop looking at it.
Can anyone think? He looks like the fella from Eastbound and Down.
Yes, he does.
He does,
Kenny
you're
Powers.
right.
He is Kenny Powers.
So does.
If he had that moustache, he'd be in there.
Yeah.
But his 3 counts are terrible.
I know. That drove me nuts.
You could barely see his count. It was like, what are you doing?
It's sort of like, it's like Teddy Long's count. At least Teddy Long at least showed a bit of hesitation for counting. It was more kind of like 1, 2, 3, whatever. I'm done.
And he always seemed to kind of position himself behind the wrestler so you couldn't actually see him counting.
So you couldn't see.
So great hair. Work on your ref skills.
Sure.
I think that's a lesson taken from that match.
At least Earl Hebner managed to kick the shit out of him during that match at Invasion. That's all I'm saying.
So we get like a little promo with Johnny B. Bad and stuff, but he just says, don't make your decision tonight. Do it another night and stuff.
Yeah, no, and then there's the end, like, this is what pisses me off a little bit. So people have paid for the pay-per-view, and want to see this match, I presume, for the conclusion is to see if, who wins Kimberly. Johnny B. Bad wins, and now you have to watch something on free television to see if she's going to go through with it.
Now wait, I don't want you to give me an answer tonight. I want you to think about it. Do what you want to do most in your life. Fulfill your dreams and reach your goals.
Dal, what about it?
Well, Gene, this is certainly a night of mixed emotions. Everything's so overwhelming. I'm glad you're letting me think about it, Johnny, but congratulations. The best man truly won tonight.
I think we're going to come back to this, but they are pushing Nitro down your throat in this program, aren't they? I think that's obviously where Bischoff obviously kind of knew that that's where the real money was from, was getting the advertising revenue through the TV station rather than through the pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. So it's, we've got to get everything back onto that as much as possible, which means you kind of get, like you say, this, like, I can't make my mind up. I'll have to look at it tomorrow on Nitro and stuff.
Yeah.
But it just degrades your pay-per-view.
Degrades your pay-per-view.
$50 for.
Speaking of degrading your pay-per-view,
oh yes,
Mean Gene then announces the hotline, the audio line you can listen to.
You thought you had heard the last of the WWF steroid scandal. You haven't. There is a late-breaking story this past Wednesday, as reported by the New York Post. We'll have it tonight on the WCW hotline exclusively. Give us a call at 1-900-909-9900. Make that telephone call right now, and don't forget results from World War III shortly after 10 o'clock Eastern Time tonight.
The WCW hotline, because the WWF steroid trouble's not over. Do you want to hear more about it? Call our $1.59 hotline and find out what's going on. How fucking scummy are you?
About the WWF steroid scandal. Jesus Christ.
I genuinely had a kind of what moment at that.
I agree with that.
I was like, you are joking me. That
1995 WCW. Yeah.
I mean, it's, the fact that A, they're actually referencing the steroid scandal, but B, Mean Gene's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can understand Schiavone doing it, not Bischoff doing it, but you'd have thought Mean Gene would have been a bit more kind of, not respectful, I guess, but that's it's quite brutal what they're doing there, isn't it?
Yeah, but from Mean Gene's point of view, in his defence, I suppose if they're paying you and they're your employers, then
that's true.
I'll give you that. Then you can't exactly turn around and say, "Oh no, I have principles." Fair play to him, whatever. Yeah, you had to do it. You're stuck in the. But for them to make money out of getting probably dirt sheet crap information about Vince McMahon's steroid trial, which let us not forget was started by the guy who they are pushing as their number one guy.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that would be Hogan. And a lot of these guys have come over because they started steroid testing in the WF.
Yeah.
That is lower than a racing snake's belly.
Hey.
I know there'd be kind of dirty stuff, in the Monday Night Wars as we get through to it, through to them spoiling the that night Wars because they were taped, the previous week, whatever.
Yeah.
But that is a low blow.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that just kind of shows just the kind of depths that he gone to.
It just shows Bischoff's obsession with being number one.
Yeah.
He
Pretty
didn't
much.
care.
Bischoff was fairly obsessed, and this is the early example of it.
Yeah. I agree with that. But enough of that unpleasantness. Onto the feud of the pay-per-view so far, which is Duggan versus Big Bubba Rogers, aka the Big Boss Man, in a taped fist match.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Yeah.
I would like to give this match half a star for one thing alone. The fact that Jim Duggan didn't just let Big Bubba Rogers do his entrance. He actually came out and interrupted his entrance because he was actually mad at him. Well done. Logic. Thank you.
I thought the half star was going to be the fact that Duggan came down with a 2x4 strapped to his chest with a sling.
That's a very good point, actually.
Yeah. And I think at some point during this match, I'm sure they say Duggan's like the tape fist champion.
You know how hard that makes your hand when you have all that tape wrapped around it? His grandmother was a tape fist champion. Did you know that, Duggan's grandmother?
Yes, we saw it on WCW Saturday Night recently.
And she had 3 less teeth than he did.
Yeah, they babble on about how his grandfather was some Irish bare-knuckle boxer or something rubbish like that, don't they? And it's just like, what?
Is it no DQ match? I mean, this is the point where they're flying into different rings, willy nilly because it's a tape fist match.
The only rules are it's the KO or pinfall. That's it.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's a hardcore match, but without any weapons.
Yeah.
Which is essentially pointless.
Yeah, pretty
much.
And
then you get Bobby Heenan seems to really get upset when people fighting on the floor.
Yeah, 30 minutes into the video, it's why does everyone fight on the floor? What do they think the thing with the ropes is called?
There are 3 of them.
Why does everybody have to fight on the floor? What do you think the thing with the ropes is called?
The note I've got after that is, I've just put down, geez, that commentary desk is pretty damn close to that ring.
It really is, isn't it? It's like a boxing commentary thing, isn't it? It's like literally just like touching it.
By the whole massive humanity that are about to invade that ring and later on the battle, you'd have that a bit further away.
A little bit further back.
I actually think it would be funnier if it was actually in one of the other rings that weren't being used. You just see this little corner in the corner of the screen.
You can see the team at all points.
Yeah.
Also, the thing, just another note I put down is like at one point Duggan starts USA chants.
Oh Jesus!
And
it's about 2 seconds into the match.
Yeah,
he hits Bubba and then just someone in the crowd starts chanting USA, and lo and behold, Duggan does it back.
I was like, why do you start a USA chant? You're both from America.
Yeah, I've got that as well. Why does he do it against American opponents? It's just so ridiculously pointless.
If he's fighting a Russian, fair enough. Fighting a Frenchman, fair enough. A Canadian even, fair enough.
Sure.
But like an actual other American.
Well, it's nothing else, sassy.
But it's just like, this match, it's just like, big men running at each other match, isn't it? It's just what we talked about, was it Bam Bam versus Duggan in the King of the Ring? It's just like that, isn't it? People kind of running each other.
Yeah.
Not really.
But with the
added... Bubba's Boss Man, I'm just going to call him Boss Man, I can't call him anything other than Boss Man.
Sure.
He puts a bit more into it than Bam Bam did into that match.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think Boss Man's kind of unfairly maligned at times. I don't think he had the best gimmicks or the best kind of storylines. But
especially this one, but it's just a reprise of his WWF gimmick.
Yeah. But he, as a wrestler, he was a great big man. He was light on his feet. He could.
I've got down here that there was an Inzagiri at one point.
Yeah,
that amazed me.
He was really good, but he always seemed to be just kind of, we'll just put him into this feud. We'll just put him over here and stuff. So, like, I think at this point, is it him that wraps the extra tape around his fist? Because extra tape equals extra pain?
Yeah. I don't quite know why.
And then he tapes Duggan to the top rope?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a note on here saying, surely you'd just tape his mouth shut to stop him saying USA.
I thought it was weird, though. Obviously, in the Survivor Series 95, he gets Diesel tied to the ring post. And this one, you get Duggan tied to the rope. Weird how storylines...
Yeah, one would be slightly more exciting than the other one, though.
What? Are you saying that Hacksaw Jim Duggan tied to the top rope by some tape isn't that exciting?
By one bit of medical tape, no.
Yeah. Are you saying that's not exciting? Is that what you're saying? Then?
No, I'm saying that pales in comparison to cable wires and Diesel getting his ankle tied to a ring post. Did anyone else catch the bit where Tony Schiavone completely misunderstands what bird's eye view means?
Yes.
I'll give you the exact time, ladies and gentlemen. 30 minutes and 45 seconds, just for your reference, Phil, when you drop this one in.
Very unique setup here, as you can see between rings 2 and 3. There's a very small ringside section. So those fans who are in ringside have really a bird's eye view of what's going on here.
They're on to the side, you pleb.
There are people sitting there going, what the fuck is going on? I can't see anything.
Yeah, birds fly, Tony.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, cheers, good night. There's a bit where Bossman does get backdropped over the top rope, and does take an almighty crack on the ring apron on his back.
It looks, I remember that. He kind of doubles over. It looks like he actually probably heard that bit.
Did sound and look like it properly stung a bit. Yeah,
he gets a bit of colour as well. And after Duggan puts more tape around his fist or hits him with the tape, I forget.
Yeah, but it's right at the end, and it looks like a mosquito bite.
And then is it IRS comes out? Sorry.
Sorry. No. DK Wall Street.
Sorry, not Mike Rotondo or whatever he used to be called.
Not the Rotondo.
The Varsity Club comes out.
Is that Wyatt Senior?
Yes, it is.
It is Wyatt Senior.
Yeah, it is.
And he comes out with a chain. So we can find out if chain is greater than tape.
Correct.
And the winner is chain.
Ding ding, ring the bell. And the greatest feud of tape versus chain
versus 2x4. Don't forget 2x4.
Yeah, Team comes out as well. Yeah, it's a rubbish match, isn't it? It's bad. It's not a great match.
It's just sloppy as anything. And
Cameron will appreciate this. In my notes, I wrote down the Rotunda balls in the building. Which is a reference only Cameron will get. To explain, Phil.
Oh God!
There is a casino by the SECC in Glasgow called the Rotunda Bowl. Sorry, called the Rotunda. So I've named it the Rotunda Bowl.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah, it's right next to Al's Crane.
Oh yeah, I thought it is. Aye, Al's Crane. It's got fucking Carlisle written on it. Yeah. Right. Okay. Thanks, Al.
Oh God! So after that, we get a Ric Flair promo next.
Oh, this promo's fantastic. I just wrote Ric Flair is fucking awesome as he struts off camera.
Yeah, but the only thing I wrote down is at one point Ric Flair says, "You're going to get back into the ring with a great one more time."
Yeah,
but it's 1995, and it's like,
yeah,
really, Ric Flair? That one more time lasted about another 10 years.
The Nature Boy! And profile. And for that little incident on TNT where he almost ended my career, the great one is back one more time.
Woo! 2005, he was still wrestling in the WWE.
Yeah.
13 years?
15 years?
When? And then he went to TNA.
Let's not talk about that. Move on.
Let's just say that when Ric Flair says one more time, he's at best economical with the truth.
Yeah, one more time is equal to about 15 years.
Yeah, but it's a Ric Flair promo. It's brilliant, and he struts off to one side.
I just put that it's more shouting and Flair not making much sense, but hey, it's Flair.
It's Ric Flair, isn't it?
To be fair, compared to some of the in-depth commentary Dusty Rhodes provides later on, Ric Flair gets a fucking a 10 for me.
Well, yeah, true, I suppose, yeah.
At least understand what Ric Flair's saying when he's in rant mode.
Yeah.
So the next match is clearly the Japanese women that the WWF couldn't book for their pay-per-view.
Yep.
you've got Akira Hokuto versus Bull Nakano versus Cutie Suzuki and Mayami Ozaki.
Indeed. And this is, as Mike Tenay helpfully puts it, is a match of AGW, which is All Japan Wrestling, and JWP, and a match that you will never see outside of Japan. Because they're in two different promotions, you fucktard. Of course not.
But you notice there again, like the Survivor Series bringing in Jim Ross, they bring in Mike Tenay because A, he knows the names, and B, he knows what their moves are called.
I have written down here that it's odd to hear Mike Tenay, if you're used to his TNA screaming bollocks and all the rubbish he has to put over on TNA is something decent, it's odd to see that Mike Tenay is a really intelligent commentator.
He is when he's allowed to be.
When he's allowed to be, and when he's allowed, because you can tell he's done his research on this, and he's the only one seemingly that has a clue who the hell these people are, and is able to tell the viewer what it is and who these people are.
And why you should care.
And why you should care about this, and why it's a big thing. I think Heenan's contribution is just to say, hey, the missus is here.
Yeah, I think Heenan assumes the casual racism role in this one, doesn't he?
The casual racism and sexism.
Because it's Japanese women, it's 2-1 for them, isn't it? They can nail both targets without even trying.
Pretty much, yeah.
But also, what amazing hair!
Yes!
Yeah,
is it Bull Nakano?
Yeah.
Is that up about 2 foot?
Skyscraper thing going on.
Ridiculous. And there's lots of hair pulling in this match. Sorry, lots of hair throwing.
Mm-hmm.
And this ref,
a lot, yeah.
This ref is very lax and is double teaming in the tags.
I think it was more he didn't want to get involved in the middle of all that because it would not end well.
Because at one point it's like a double sharpshooter thing going on in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, it's a double half Boston Crab going on.
And he's just like, just carry on.
Fuck it. They're not tapping, keep going. Did anyone catch the fun fact about North Korea?
Yes. There was one of them wrestled there, like in the biggest wrestling match of all time or something.
Where 150,000 people there both nights. Yeah, because they probably didn't have a choice. It's North Korea. Your choice was go there or you die.
Yeah, go there or die. So how do you rate this one compared to the Survivor Series Japanese ladies tag match?
I like this one more because there was some hard hitting in it. That's probably down to the fact that Bull Nakano was huge.
I think they're
damn stiff.
I think they had more time to work it because a lot of the Survivor Series match was somebody would do a move and then they get eliminated.
Yeah, you get eliminated.
It was quite stilted
after like an armbar or something.
Yeah,
I did enjoy the Joe Frankensteiner spot.
Was that?
Oh
yeah.
That was the JWP was, but I felt sorry for who was it? Who took Nakano's guillotine leg drop? Because that just looked absolutely brutal.
Yeah,
I think that was Mayumi, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Mayumi. She just gets killed.
It does look horrendous.
It does, and then Nakano just very casually just rolls over and goes, "I'm the shit." Done.
Yeah. Mind you, Bull Nakano does take those 4 foot stomps from the top rope in a row.
Yeah. I mean, they can't be the most pleasant things to do. I know they're not the biggest women in the world who come off top rope, but still.
Yeah, it's going to be
it's not going to be pleasant, is it? Yeah, that's painful for me to say is probably the best match so far.
I would probably agree with that. Yeah, shockingly, yes.
Yeah.
Some, a group of 4 women who have nothing to do with WCW is probably the best match tonight so far.
It came out to generic music to absolutely nil reaction whatsoever.
Oh, well, jeez. All of the music...
No one has a clue who they are.
All of the music in, for each wrestler so far has been appalling. Yeah, I think this is where, one of those things you really miss Jim Thompson from WWF. At least, 70% of the music on the show is good compared to WCW. Each song is just generic rubbish. It's really, that difference is shockingly bad. It's shockingly big.
We'll find out later with a Macho Man's theme song.
Oh, yes.
Don't even talk about
Which I think someone's been paid to fart into a trumpet.
How can you mess that up? It's just never mind. Yeah, we'll come to that later. Speaking of which, Macho's opponent for the night is Lex Luger comes out with Jimmy Hart.
Oh, God.
Because Luger's...
little twerk for Jimmy Hart, don't forget.
There's this whole complicated thing of Luger being part of the Dungeon of Doom, but not being part of it, but just kind of coming out and beating people up.
Yeah, they try to explain it with a promo before the match, and
It doesn't work.
I don't know.
But do you notice, when he's doing this promo here with Jimmy Hart, would you say he's reading off paper?
I was just about to say exactly the same thing. That is what I've written down. Is Lex Luger reading this? He never looks at the camera.
He never looks at the camera until the very end. We kind of get to his catchphrase. He's just looking,
He's looking
solidly
down.
at the bottom, down at the floor. He must be reading off cue cards.
There's an intern with giant boards.
Which, I mean, Lex Luger isn't, he was a big name in WCW, never quite made it WWF. But obviously, he was quite a big name over the years, matches with Sting and Flair and all that. So he's been wrestling now for, a good, probably 10 years.
Yeah.
To have to read your own promo cards, that's bad, isn't it? That's not... You wouldn't get Flair doing that. You wouldn't get, Sting would never do that.
No, but...
Not even Marty Jannetty would do that, for crying out loud.
Can you imagine him without the cue cards? It would be like Sid Vicious level bad.
That would almost be more endearing. For him to kind of throw out some crazy Sid Vicious stuff. As opposed to just looking down and reading off a card.
Yeah, I suppose.
Oh, Lex Luger. Lex Luger.
Also, what's going on with them white band things around his biceps?
I have no idea.
Because are those the same sort of thing that Cesaro now gets for his thighs?
That's a rugby thing, isn't it?
Because they look the same.
I thought one of those things is like a rugby thing. They used to play rugby union or something back in Switzerland.
That might be
no idea.
I think they make his muscles just look like, WBF big and stuff. Show me the body. Show me the body.
Show me the body. Show me the body.
Well, let's not do this again. I'm still haunted by that.
Speaking of showing you the body, Chris Benoit's out next.
Oh no.
I've just written down here, lads, how do we feel about watching Benoit matches now?
Hold on. Hold on, my wife just called in. 2 seconds.
Let's talk about where Phil's a dick.
Sorry, my wife just called.
Oh, okay. Sure fun?
Yeah, she said Dolly Parton was brilliant, life-affirmingly amazing, with 2 thumbs up.
Wow.
I'll edit my review of that review out of the podcast, though. So where were you? Chris Benoit.
We're just asking, how do we feel about watching Chris Benoit matches now?
It's really hard, isn't it?
It's
weird. A bit weird, yeah, because effectively you're watching a murderer.
I've got Chris Benoit's DVD that was released quite a few years ago, and I tried to watch it again recently. I can't watch it.
No?
The Hard Knocks DVD, even though it's his life story, there's still a lot of weirdness about that. In fact, I'm watching somebody who killed his entire family.
Yeah. Did you listen to, I think it was on the Chris Jericho podcast where he interviewed Chavo Guerrero?
That was a great interview.
And they talk about Chris Benoit. Both of them kind of say, like, if there was one person they would have picked to look after their kids, it would have been Chris Benoit.
Mm.
And it's just like, they don't understand, they still know them kind of understand how he could, change and do what he did. And if that's his best friends got that opinion, then, how are we as fans to kind of judge his work? Because essentially, it's like 10 years or so of someone's, career and kind of major storylines and stuff, like all the work he did in WWF, can you just kind of blank all of that out? It's like, it's the same kind of discussions around the guy who directed Chinatown, Polanski.
Roman Polanski, yeah.
He's essentially a rapist. Does that mean you disregard all of his work previously to this? Do you just, with Woody Allen as well?
Between the character Benoit played in a wrestling ring and the actual human.
Mm.
Which is why on the network now you've got that the little kind of blurb before you actually get the show that explains, these are characters, these are not real people.
Doesn't represent WWF corporate and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact of the matter is, Chris Benoit was, he was a great wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh, he
was in superb matches. And I think it's very difficult to kind of say, no, you have to kind of discount all of that because of what happened.
But I think knowing what we know now, he would have changed a lot he would do, because he wouldn't be taking the level of chair shots he was taking in WWF 2000, for example, where it seemed every week in Raw he was just getting nailed by a chair.
But then would that have taken away what made Chris Benoit Chris Benoit?
No, because he had the wrestling technique, though.
Well, that's true. But I think that kind of aggression and that kind of that hot edge to his character, I think, is what got him over the fans. Even because the technical skill would get him over the smart marks and stuff. He'd be popular with them. But to get to like a wider audience, they need to connect with you, and that, I think that his work style was what connected him with fans. So if you take that out of it,
I guess
you're not going to get the same Benoit, are you? It's a really difficult thing to kind of judge.
Yeah, I guess also we're living in the time of where ECW is at the forefront at this point. Albeit it's dying, but people still remember the blood, the craziness, the tables, the chairs, the fire, the whatever else. So at that point, they were competing for that audience because ECW was at this point dying. In 2000, it was pretty much on life support. So, looking back now, he probably wouldn't have done half the stuff he did. But like you say, would that have affected how popular he was?
Yeah,
it could have. We will never know.
Yeah, exactly. We'll never know. Or we'll never know what happened that day when he did his crimes. It's just like I can't think of any other kind of arena where that kind of thing's happened. Movie stars or pop stars or whatever. There's like things like Gary Glitter and stuff, but that doesn't quite. It hasn't got the edge. I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same as as the Chris Benoit situation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's brought the podcast down a chunk, hasn't it?
Yeah,
slightly. Yeah.
Let's talk about the match.
He does a match against a Japanese fella that's quite good. But you can kind of tell the crowd's not into it, though, even though it's a good technical match. Good stiff match with the fellows at Kensuke Sasaki.
Yes, from New Japan.
He's the US champion now, isn't he? I think
he is the US heavyweight champion. He comes up with Sonny Ono, who I love the way he during his Sasaki interview just very elegantly reveals the Japanese flag, just unrolls it like he's like unrolling a cigarette or something.
Yeah. But,
it's absolutely bloody tiny, the flag, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ridiculously small.
It's like, you've probably got, like, in years to come, you'll have, Bret Hart walking out the ring with a massive Canadian flag. It just seems really... Mr. Fuji, 2 years previous, this massive Japanese flag. And now you've got it looks like something you put in a cocktail.
They spent all the money in Johnny B. Bad's pyro.
Obviously.
Probably.
Yeah, it's a good match, but I don't think the crowd don't seem to be that into it. They're quite flat during the whole thing, but it's a good match.
Yeah, the crowd are pretty lame for this entire pay-per-view, though.
Yeah. The only kind of note I've written down is at one point, because Benoit's part of the Four Horsemen, I think Tony Schiavone refers to the aerialness of Brian Pillman.
This group of Four Horsemen may be the best of all time. I mean, with the knowledge of Ric Flair, the tag team ability of Arn Anderson, the aerialness of Flying Brian, and this man, Benoit, can do it all. From the mat to the ropes to the floor.
The aerialness?
Yeah, that's not a word, Tony Schiavone, but, thanks for trying.
Yep. Well, thank you, come again.
Talking of things that sound like words that aren't, we're into the Giant promo after this, with Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah, oh, God.
I don't get Kevin Sullivan.
Is Mean Gene now annoying anyone else?
Yes, because he's like... It's just be quiet, Mean Gene. Let the people talk that are there.
I mean, don't just as well.
It's begging for some Mean Gene and someone else to be there, so you can just alternate between the two. Mm-hmm. It just always seems to be Mean Gene, and now we're going to go to Mean Gene. Oh, no.
Would it have hurt to get the brain down for a couple of interviews?
You probably need more of a kind of neutral guy for it.
Yeah. Did you notice as well, but I think in the majority of the promos, the people have to move the mic because Mean Gene puts it in the wrong place.
Yeah.
It's in at least, most of these promos, somebody grabs it and kind of pushes it into the right place because he can't do it right. And Mean Gene's on this game.
Do we have a chance to get in the Giants' love poem?
I've written down Violets are red promo. Holy shit.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm gonna kick your butt to Kalamazoo. Hold on, you're mine.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Oh, God.
God, who thought that was broadcastable?
All the Giants, clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
I love the fact then this is followed, by the way, by a graphic for Starrcade, which on it says Sunday the 27th. And then Tony Schiavone says, actually, it's a Wednesday.
That's right.
Which is like brilliant. Well done, WCW.
It is Starrcade, and this year, Starrcade 1995 comes your way on December 27th. Now that, fans, by the way, is a Wednesday night. Wednesday, December 27th, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, live and only on pay-per-view, Starrcade 1995, Brain.
I think that there, more than anything else, that summarises the difference between the WCW and WWF, because that wouldn't happen in the WWF show.
Yeah.
The person would change the template.
There's no way in God's green earth that Vince would let a promo card go up with the wrong day on it.
No, exactly. And for all people complain, oh, Vince has got a lot of control over WWF and what they broadcast, WWE, you know, blah, 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 blah. Have you found that through the years of growing up watching WWF, you become so accustomed to a pretty darn polished product?
Yes.
Anything like that suddenly seems really jarring.
Yeah.
And it's like when you watch, like, I'm not digging at them, but when you watch Ring of Honor, you have to kind of get over the fact that it ain't going to be production-wise WWE.
You're not going to have the camera views and the kind of polished production.
It's still brilliant to watch, but it's not going to be WWE.
They are getting better.
They're getting. Yeah, I'm not by saying that popping at Ring of Honor.
No, but I know what you're meaning.
Yeah, but you have to really kind of go, okay, it's going to be a little bit darker. It's not going to be as well lit. The camera angles might not be quite as good sometimes. Okay, if I can get past that, then I'm going to watch a really good wrestling.
But even like you say, even in the mid-90s when the wrestling product wasn't that good, they could still produce a show, of that greater quality.
Still slick.
Yeah. Which involves having the right dates for promos on the title cards.
Yeah, pretty much. But there we go.
There we
Never
go.
mind.
Speaking of things he shouldn't mind, Lex Luger versus Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, this match.
He's out. He's gone.
Was Luger a secret member of the Dungeon of Doom? Did he have the personal agenda Savage had claimed? It all came to light at Halloween Havoc. Savage showed he was a true friend to Hulk Hogan. Luger showed something else.
Lex Luger has Hulk Hogan up
And the torture rack. Well, you're going to get an envelope to send Hogan home.
Jimmy Hart, Lex Luger, they've all turned their back on the world champion.
The promo beforehand, though, let's not forget, it gives us a couple of insights into the Macho Man's psyche, right?
He's jittery. He's a jittery man.
Are you jittery?
I'm always jittery.
I love that line.
He's always jittery.
And let's not forget the mathematical equation here of 1,000,000% is better than 100%.
You've got a problem with that arm. How is that going to affect you tonight? You can't do it on guts alone.
I say I'm 1,000,000%. That is better than 100%.
1,000,000%?
1,000,000%.
Shit, you didn't know.
Which I didn't know, yeah.
You see, if the Giant had said that, I'd be kind of, going, oh, geez, what's that about? Because Macho Man says it, but because he has that look in his eye where he completely 100% believes it.
Yeah.
You buy it from Macho Man. You wouldn't buy it from anybody else, but you buy it from him. I don't understand.
Also, was this pay-per-view broadcast live?
Yes.
Or was it taped?
I'm
I think
assuming
it was live.
Because they do a promo with Macho Man outside in the arena, and then literally 30 seconds later, he's coming from behind the curtain.
But he runs,
for his
obviously.
entrance. That, to me, was just another really jarring moment, kind of going, well, surely you'd just interview him backstage and then have him...
Yeah, like in the gorilla position or something.
Yeah, exactly. It would make it fine. But no, you get a promo, it's like going, 1,000,000% is better than 100%. And then you get...
Well,
Here at World War III.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next contest tonight is a special return match set for one fall. Introducing first, from Sarasota, Florida, weighing 235 pounds, Macho Man Randy Savage!
Well, as Gene Okerlund said, a tremendous fan favorite. A guy who, he said his arm is 1,000,000%.
How can you mess up Macho Man's theme? I don't get that.
you do because you're cheap.
That's it.
Don't just give him something different. Not just try and rip off the WWF one with some kind of really odd farting trumpet effort.
According to the internet, this was shown live.
That just must be weird. He must have run then.
I must have. Well, he's one of a couple of people that had to run really fast after doing their promos because all of a sudden, like you say, they came out of the
the
back.
match starts and that's it. Way.
Yeah. Although I think the amount of time we talked about this match so far is actually longer than the match.
Yeah, the match
They have
was
it.
5 minutes.
About that, because Savage comes out with his arm all taped up. There's a bit of action going around and stuff. Bit slow, bit lumbering, because that's Luger's style.
Yeah.
And then he wins it with an arm lock.
Yeah, he wins it with an arm lock. Okay, they're trying to sell the fact that Savage has got an arm injury. But the fact that Savage is kind of seemingly knocked unconscious by this.
Don't forget the torture rack. Don't forget the torture rack as well.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. And then I put down here, Sting comes down and just talks to Luger.
See, I like that. I like that because it's like they kind of talk about how Luger and Sting are best friends. And like how
they kind of build up as if it's going to be some massive run-in and some kind of, near stand-off. Yeah. I wouldn't mind it if they had a standoff and had a moment of kind of going, fists raised. Could they? But it's just the way Sting comes down and goes, do you want to fucking let go, eh? And it's just like kind of going, oh, right. Okay.
I quite liked it because I thought they did it quite well. Like, it's just Sting talking his friend out from being a dickhead.
Here, pal, you want to... Don't do that.
I didn't mind it as much as that. I thought it was good. It was a good little bit of business. I get your point though. I
disagree on that. I think
if they get a bit of pushing and shoving to kind of sell a bit more of a thing, that would have been
I would have wanted a bit of tense moment where something could have kicked off, and then if it didn't, fine. Yeah. But just the way it is, it's just like kind of going, he's running down the ring. Oh my god, here comes Sting. Oh, there could be something. No, he just talks to him, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's really badly done.
And here comes Sting.
And they're going to be partners tomorrow night?
Luger, a couple of weeks ago on Nitro, had Sting let go of Ric Flair, who had the Scorpion Deathlock. And now, in virtually the same fashion, Sting is talking Luger out of this.
I don't understand the relationship with these two. There's something they know there.
But it seems daft to bring Sting out at this point because he's now got to run back out for the program to be done. Just come back out for his match.
He's got to run back and do his entrance again for the match with Flair.
Get his coat, come out to his pyro for a Sting Flair match,
which is bitterly disappointing.
Well, I think you can kind of see that the edge is starting to go off Flair at this point. I think he's getting a little bit. He's not quite as.
He looks hella saggy.
Yeah, he's looking saggy. He's not quite got the snap to his moves anymore. He doesn't quite do the Flair flip over the turnbuckle, does he, at one point?
No, he actually screws up his own spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not, grade A Flair, this. But it's still a decent match. Still better than Duggan and Bubba.
Oh, yeah. It's better than that. But, I mean, the crowd have finally livened up a little bit.
Well, because Sting's there, obviously.
Which makes it a lot better.
It's because the big stars are coming out.
Yeah, pretty much. It's towards the end of the night, I suppose.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's the whole thing of Flair just keeps running around all the rings.
Catch me.
He's in ring 1, and now they're in ring 3, and ring 2, and back to 1 again. I have put a big note in big capital letters here saying, Sting sells bugger all.
Yeah, Sting is captain, no sell.
I mean, it works with the chops. They kind of, they sell the chops as just kind of firing Sting up. But he sells the knee stuff all right, and then walks between rings perfectly fine.
Yep.
I mean,
further down the page, Sting sells no sells the chops.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he does sell a bollock shot.
He does.
Amazingly.
The whole thing with when he gets him into the figure 4 and starts slapping him, that's a good bit of business.
That's cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's what these two kind of they've had enough matches they can kind of rely on that psychology. They know how each other's work well enough.
Yeah.
To kind of get around the fact that Sting's probably kind of maybe just like a step up his proper full game, and Flair's starting to decline. They can still get a good match out of each other because they know how each other work well enough to do that. So. But it's not a classic by any stretch of the imagination, is it? It's not like the early 90s matches.
Not really, no.
I think the problem
also,
is, by this
sorry,
point,
Ewan, carry on.
Solely into the card, and we've had such bad stuff so far. This isn't good enough to bring it up to a level where it's like, oh god, remember how Sting versus Ric Flair saved the show? It improved the show, but it didn't save it.
No, it didn't at all.
There was also one, Healy made a comment during the match about saying how 1996 was going to change WCW.
I mean, Tony, the whole course of wrestling is going to change in 96 here at WCW. I can just feel it.
Nope.
We've got a winner.
He was indeed very much right.
I think that's twice now because Bobby Heenan's kind of cool stuff. Because at WrestleMania 8, he called Shawn Michaels the star of the 90s.
Yeah, it was.
And now this one, he said 1996 is going to change WCW. He's a Nostradamus figure in wrestling now, I think.
He is, yeah. But somewhere in America right now, there's Bobby Heenan saying that the world will end.
Well, That's good. So it's there's good heel work from Flair. You can see 3 Gorilla Press slams from Sting because the crowd liked that apparently.
Yeah,
but that's
they're opening the Gorilla Press. Yeah,
that's probably about as far as it goes. It's just like it's not. They're just kind of reworking spots they know that work, and they get out of there in time for the 60-man battle royal.
Yep, and
but also during this match, just before we leave it, what was the point in Sensational Sherry and Colonel Tom Parker coming down?
I have no idea.
Get them a payday.
They were nothing to do with the match. They weren't linked in any kind of feud at all with them, as far as I know.
They were just there.
They were just there.
Shall I tell you
the point in that?
I'll tell you the point, Cameron.
Go on.
You'd have to come back and watch on tomorrow's Nitro.
Oh yeah, because I'm going to find out something I've paid for, the answer to something I've paid for free TV the next time.
Exactly, Cameron. Exactly.
Yeah. And this type of booking lives on in TNA to date.
It does indeed, yes, it does indeed.
But we're not talking about TNA.
I want to highlight a point. They start going through the promo now for the Battle Royal thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of highlighting the fact that the whole thing around the belt that was
a
lot dropped to the Giant, but then wasn't really dropped because there was that stipulation that the WCW Championship Committee said was wrong and stuff. But they make a point in this promo saying there are 3 rings and there's a Giant in each ring.
Now, 3 rings with the most prestigious title in pro wrestling history on the line. 20 men in each of the 3 rings and a Giant in each ring. In one, the mysterious Yeti. In the other, the man who claims he is the rightful champion, the Giant, the son of Andre. And in the 3rd ring, a man who is the one true giant of the wrestling world, the man who has been walking on the dark side for the past couple of months, Hulk Hogan.
So these 3, giants will be kept separate for the whole kind of thing until I think when the 2 rings kind of get, is it 10 people? They'll all merge into one ring.
The last 10, when you get into the last 10, it merges into ring 1.
Yeah. So these 3 giants, I'm going to come back to this. These 3 big giants will be kept separate until they clash at some amazing point at the climax of this match.
Can I read out all 60 men in this match?
Go for
Have you written them down?
I have written them all down in order they came out.
In which case, you're going to have to then.
Okay, we have... this is all 60 people. Don't tell me what ring they go in. I have no fucking idea. We have got Arn Anderson, Alex Wright, Brian Knobbs, Ricky Santana, Squire David Taylor, Scott Armstrong, Sting, Joey Max, Pez Watley, Disco Inferno, Meng, Stevie Ray, Mark Starr, Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker, Lieutenant James Earl Wright, Lex Luger, Eddie Guerrero, Cobra, The Giant, Paul Orndorff, Chris Kanyon, Bobby Walker, Earl Robert Eaton, Chris Benoit, Randy Savage, Marcus Bagwell, The Yeti, Kurosawa, Hugh Morris, Zodiac, VK Wall Street, Diamond Dallas Page, Scott Norton, Brian Pillman, Sergeant Craig Pittman, One Man Gang, Super Assassin Number 2, JL, Bunkhouse Buck, Kensuke Sakai, Mike Winner, Shark, Steve Armstrong, Road Warrior Hawk, Dave Sullivan, Scotty Riggs, Johnny B. Bad, Big Train Bart, Lord Stephen Regal, Dick Slater, Max Muscle, Super Assassin Number 1, Fidel Sierra, Kevin Sullivan, Jerry Saggs, Jim Duggan, Booker T, Big Bubba Rogers, Ric Flair, and number 60, Hulk Hogan. Thank you.
My 2 points about with all the guys come out. Number 1, when Regal comes out looking terrified, is amazing.
He's the star of the show.
That steals the entire pay-per-view. His face when he comes out is brilliant.
No, it's when Michael Buffer's doing the intro and he's just cowering in the background looking at all the men in the ring.
He's going to look and go, what the hell am I doing with all these people? And secondly, why does the Yeti come out dressed as a ninja?
I don't understand.
Because in all the promos, he's wearing he's a Yeti dressed as a mummy, apparently.
No, he's a toilet roll monster dressed as a mummy. Get it right.
And then he comes out, because I thought they got the names wrong. I thought he said the Yeti and they got the wrong person. But he's dressed like a big ninja. What but you've had him in the previous promos dressed that way. Why change his costume? But it's fine, because he's a giant in the ring, so we'll get to him later, won't we?
Mm-hmm. They show twice in the run-up to this the promo on, was it Nitro beforehand, of Lex Luger putting Hulk Hogan in the torture rack.
Yes.
It is kind of ruined both times by your attention is drawn to the Yeti with toilet roll wrapped around him, doing this thing on one side of the ring.
Yeah,
what the hell?
I fucking love the Yeti just because he's so terrible.
Like, who was the Yeti? Do we know this?
I don't know.
I'm going to find out.
Quickly.
Find out really
because it feels like the kind of thing that Kane would be doing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know, but obviously he was doing Isaac Yankem on Survivor Series 95. So
it feels like the kind of gimmick that he'd be given. There you go. Ron Rice.
Yes, it is Ron Rice. You're correct.
Trained by Big John Studd. Well, there's a...
Dude. I also... he should have really gone with the name he had previously to the Yeti, which was the Super Giant Ninja.
It debuted in 95 as the Dungeon of Doom's insurance policy, the Yeti, for the Havoc... So in that Halloween Havoc match, that's when he first came out.
That was his intro.
So he was introduced inside a frozen block of ice. Oh my god.
Oh, so these Dungeon of Doom promos are fantastic, because they're so... You're kind of staring at the screen going, what the hell am I watching?
Oh, there we go. The following Halloween Havoc, the Yeti's ring attire was changed to resemble a masked ninja.
There we go.
Clearly. And he only made 3 more appearances as the character, as an entrant into this Battle Royal, in the match against Barry Houston on WWE Prime, and a match against One Man Gang on WWE Saturday Night in 96. At that point, he was renamed the Super Giant Ninja.
There you go.
And then he came back as being called Big Ron Stud. And then he joined Raven's Flock in 98.
The Flock.
And then he went to Japan.
Yes.
So yeah, that was some career.
It was. We did it all right.
Finishing move: 2-handed chokeslam.
Nice.
Nicely done.
Nice.
Now,
I also noticed, by the way, on commentary that about sort of about a third of the way in, we've seen virtual unknowns eliminated, which does kind of fly in the face right at the start when they said there was 60 international superstars.
Yeah.
Also, we should point out that each ring has its own commentary team.
Yeah, I was going to explain how it's set up. So there's 3 rings, 20 men in each ring, and each ring has their own commentary duo.
Yeah.
So we've got Eric Bischoff and the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes in 1.
Yep, they're in ring 2.
Ring 2, sorry.
1 is Tony Schiavone and Bobby the Brain.
Yep, and ring 3 is Larry Zbyszko and some other guy?
Chris Cruz.
Chris Cruz. Thank you.
Can I just point out, by the way, does anyone else find that Larry Zbyszko's voice just grates on them?
You know, I thought it was very clever of Hulk Hogan to hide behind Savage and Sting at the appropriate time, but after what Lex Luger did to Macho Man, I don't think he's going to do the Hulkster any good whatsoever.
All right, the waiting is over.
Yeah, after a while.
Yeah.
All I hear when Larry Zbyszko's commentating is this kind of noise.
Well, you've got that mixed in with Dusty Rhodes. What the fuck are you saying?
He has no idea what he's saying.
Well, this will go down in infamy, if you will, around the world as the grandest pay-per-view of all time. A new champion will be crowned. And let me tell you, folks sitting out there in television land, cable system throughout the world, you might see an underdog tonight step to the forefront and wear the gold as WCW's World Heavyweight Champion.
So it's at this point that the camera splits into a 3-way split screen on each ring.
Why?
Yeah.
Who thought this was acceptable?
Yeah, because at this point, the fatal flaw in this Battle Royal is revealed in that there's just too much going on.
There's too much shit going on.
You can't focus on 3 rings at once.
It's obvious that someone just sat there and went, right, WWF have got the Royal Rumble. How do we top that? Oh, right, well, they've got 30 people. Let's just times that by 2 and have 60. Oh, but that'll go on for ages. Just dump them all in at once.
Yeah.
Oh, the ring won't take 60 guys in at once. Give them 3 rings.
Give them 3 rings.
Done.
And they went, done. Let's go home.
Yeah.
Did anyone else note that Eric Bischoff was so excited on the first handover of commentary that he felt like he was trying to sell this disaster way too hard?
I think he knew by this point. I think he knew.
Yeah, he knew this was a mistake.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Let's take you to ring 2 with Eric Bischoff and the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Okay, thanks, Tony Schiavone, and I tell you what, it is wild here as well.
I've just put down 3-way split screen. I only have 2 eyes and 1 brain.
It's also at this point, a quote from my son when we watched this earlier. He said, "It's not good production, this, is it?"
Wow.
A 9-year-old child. A 9-year-old child. And it's so confusing, you can't even see the Yeti get eliminated.
No.
It's after like a minute.
One of their main guys that they hyped up for this, we're giant in the ring, Yeti. All that happens is the commentary says the Yeti is gone.
It's gone.
The real stunner is that the Yeti has already been eliminated.
Watch out, Hogan! Hogan's got Flair right behind him! I can't sit still as a mass of humanity!
I think the other fatal flaws are that, like, a lot of wrestlers just kind of get out of the ring and start fighting on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
They'll hop out the middle of the room. Lex Luger spends, I think, the entire match on the outside.
He does.
Good thinking and all that. And the other problem is the refs are inside the ring. So they can't see when there's no refs on the floor to see when people are eliminated. Because like the Royal Rumble, there's like a ref on each side, isn't there?
Yeah.
So they can kind of run around and verify.
We're just like counting, right? How many people are left? 21. Shit, wait a minute.
So you've got like these 20 wrestlers in the ring, all trying to dodge the ref, who's trying to dodge them in the rings as it kind of goes round. It's like, why put them in the ring?
No, here's a more important question. Why do this?
Because it's World War III, Ewan. Come on.
I understand that, but surely no one at any point went, by the way, this is a complete cluster. This is never going to work.
Yeah. Although, I think the only note I'll put at this point is, please stop showing the Zodiac, please.
Yeah, he does kind of draw your attention, doesn't he, by the fact he just looks
like an idiot.
Insane.
Like an idiot is what you're looking for there, Cameron. He's got a stupid black and white face with stupid arms tassels by his wrists.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a fat Bruce's beefcake. It's like, just go away, please.
Yeah, something I've also said here is Hugh Morris called humorous in this?
I think you're right.
Again, at one point, I think the team mentioned it. My son went, Hugh Morris. Oh, humorous, I get it.
Did Hugh Morris just make an entire career out of really crap names for his gimmicks?
So.
Because let us not forget, this is the man who portrayed Hugh G. Rection.
Yes, it is.
I forgot about that.
You also have Crash the Terminator, Captain Hugh G. Rection, and General Hugh G. Rection. So you got an upgrade.
He did.
The Laughing Man and the Man of Question.
The Man of Question. Wow.
God.
But all those names
would be really Hugh G. Rection.
But all those names are still better than Zodiac.
Yes, that goes
pretty
without
much.
saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
So the next note I've got put is Hogan saved by Duggan. What a spot!
I think I'd completely glazed that one up.
Yeah. And then we get to the point whereby
I was watching the Yeti.
I think it's ring 1. They kind of get down to 10 people first, so they have to stop and move into the second ring, and that isn't awkward at all, is it?
No.
Just stop in the
everyone's
mid-fight.
still fighting. Get in the ring. Get in this ring. Carry on.
You can see they're like, well, boys, stop. Get in that ring now. Come on. Into the other ring. Why not just let them use all 3 rings? That would have been...
I don't know.
You can have some good spots.
You're trying to think of ways you could have made this somewhat bearable, right? And the only thing I could come up with is have your 20-man battle royal in each ring, but once you had a defined winner, like a last man standing in each ring, those 3 people went into the ring 1 and it was a triple threat.
That would have worked.
I'm sure like Ring of Honor have done something similar to that. Like it's a 6-way. It's just a scramble match. When you get down to like 2 left, it just turns into a regular match.
Yeah, just something like that, just to avoid this whole tidal wave of just idiocy.
WCW tidal wave of idiocy.
Yeah, that's like tidal wave of idiocy live on pay-per-view.
I'd pay for that. That sounds amazing.
On Wednesday.
Wait, Thursday. There's just like X's across the days of the week. They just show a calendar and go, no, that one, that one.
That one. Just put the date into the calendar. Whatever day it is, that's the right day.
Yeah, pretty much. I've just put down here as well, it's like kind of going, the only highlight I can think of after watching this match for the last 25 minutes, good top rope drop kick from Eddie Guerrero.
He does, yeah. When it gets down to those kind of that last ring, it's not too bad. I mean, like I say,
it's
Guerrero...
not too bad once it's done that, no.
When Guerrero's doing a bit of business with Flair and Anderson, that's quite good. He's like kind of working with them. I think Lex is still pacing slowly outside. They have to kind of talk quickly around a guy being stretchered out with a neck brace on.
Yeah.
Which
is ruined by the shitty finish.
yes, the other guy in the stretchers actually was Scott Armstrong, who was the WWF referee now.
Oh.
He was the guy who did the fast count on Daniel Bryan early on in the year.
Oh yes, he was.
You know the fakey ref. He came back in WrestleMania 30, and that's the same guy.
There you go.
Wow.
That's the most interesting thing I got from this match.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I noticed also that Savage is not selling anything concerning his arm.
No, nothing
No, because they burned that when they burned Wrestling Observer earlier in the show, you see.
Yeah.
This disappeared.
This is an arm injury that was so severe that as soon as Lex Luger, not half an hour beforehand, put the arm lock on, he
passed out.
rendered
Stop it.
unconscious.
Stop it! You're thinking about it again. Stop it!
Absolutely awful.
Yeah, why does one man gang last until this, like the last 6 men?
I think he's maybe forgotten to eliminate himself. He's just there.
I'm sure he lasts longer than Flair and Anson do when they both get eliminated.
Probably because he realises there's a queue for the showers at the moment. So you might as well stay in.
So yeah, we get to the finish where there's a nice bit of work where is it Sting and Luger double teaming the Giants for the one time that Sting's in the ring, and then Hogan eliminates all of them, and including his best friend apparently. And then the Giant pulls out Hogan from the ring, and they start fighting. And then as that's going on, Randy Savage eliminates somebody else, and the ref's like, he's the last one left in the ring, therefore he's the winner, and rings the bell. At which point Hogan comes in and starts doing like a mime that he got pulled under the rope.
Yeah.
And he does this mime several times, and I get a bit concerned he's going to hit his back or something because he's doing it a bit too aggressively.
It would have been hilarious if he had injured his back doing a mime.
Yeah. And it's like the crowd are booing, and it's not like they're even pushing a heel turn for Savage. He's just like, I won. It is what it is, brother.
I live by what it is what it is. Can you handle that? Yes or no?
Yeah, they're just booing because it's shit.
Yeah. It's a terrible ending. And then Hogan's like, you didn't win properly, brother, and I'm going to show you the footage on Nitro tomorrow night.
Oh, that drove me nuts.
Yeah.
At this point, I just wrote down, fuck this show, fuck this show, fuck this show.
That is a terrible ending.
I gotta see the film.
You want to see the videotape?
I gotta see the film.
Try tomorrow night on Monday Nitro.
Instant replays that take 24 hours.
Yeah, because he's got to get the film,
Yeah, well, you have to develop them. It's like Fujifilm.
Yeah, you have to someone has to sit and stick it all together.
Well, no, someone has to sit there and make it look good first of all. Then
Yeah, pretty much. It's just and then there's just this it's a really awkward promo at the end, and it's just a terrible way to end a pay-per-view.
It's a really flat way of doing it.
Awful. Just any kind of goodwill you had towards them just sucked right out of you.
They may have Eric Bischoff in a pool of money at this point.
Exactly. Well, yeah, but you just know they've just pulled this one off because they want to put Nitro next night.
What should be like a really kind of celebratory moment of Savage fighting back into the injury and winning against 60 men and all that? It's just completely undercut.
Yeah, it should have been Hogan.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
It's all like an attempt to make have Hogan not win but not hurt him at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. I think your key phrase when you described it, Phil, was when you said, whilst that's going on, Randy Savage eliminates someone else.
Yeah, who was it? I don't even...
Because you do not see it.
I don't even know who's in the... Because you see, Hogan slamming the Giant on the outside, and then, the bell rings.
Yeah.
It's like, what? It just doesn't work as an ending. It just makes no sense.
You're relying on the fact that at that stage, Nick Patrick was the only referee officiating a 60-man battle royal.
Yeah.
There was that small fact.
So where did the other referees go?
Yeah, they all just went, oh, well, time to clock off for the night.
Yeah, my ring's gone. My ring's empty. Bye, boys.
My ring's empty. Bye, boys.
Because there's what? There's 6 refs outside a Royal Rumble match?
Yeah, there's those. Interesting fact, overall, this was the 6th worst WCW buy rate ever.
Oof.
Really?
Yes.
That doesn't shock me.
No, I sold 430,000 buys.
I don't think that whole kind of the Dungeon G food with Hogan just didn't take off at all, did it? It was just the gimmicks were bad, the storylines were bad, and it kind of really kind of derailed any kind of
And you also had a group called the Dungeon of Doom. That's your first one.
That's not a bad name. I'll give him that. Dungeon of Doom. That sounds cool.
No, it doesn't.
It does sound cool. You're wrong.
No. Okay.
It sounds like someone out of Batman: Brave and the Bold.
Exactly. That's why it's cool. But it doesn't sound cool now because when I say Dungeon of Doom, you're picturing the shark.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I said it prior to that, you'd be like, Dungeon of Doom. Well, that sounds like a good. That sounds like a decent team could be brought out of that name. No, it's ruined now forever.
I'm not picturing Doom Patrol.
No. But
anyway,
the Taskmaster in his face makeup.
Would you look at this pay-per-view and think, what, in a year's time, this company's really going to be going places?
Nope.
Shocking,
I'd be thinking this company would be dead.
Exactly. You'd be looking. How important was that Hogan heel turn to them?
It's ridiculous. Like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash going over. I don't think without that.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of goes without saying, but. It's quite shocking how they were able to kind of, put some fire into the company and get them to a point where they were doing that well in the ratings.
And then a few years after their peak, watch it self-destruct in front of their eyes.
Yeah. But we're not looking at the future. We kind of, we Survivor Series 95 last week, this week. Looking at the two products as they stand, they're not that far apart, but it's Vince's money in production, I think, is the thing that separates them the most. Because there's bad gimmicks on both sides.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
There's good bits on both sides as well, but I think it's Vince's kind of level of attention to detail.
It's that wins it.
Yeah, that kind of puts it over the top. So when you kind of look at the two products, it's like, well, clearly WWF's better because
it is.
It hasn't got a Yeti dressed as a ninja.
No, they wouldn't dream of putting at least that on.
Even though in my head that sounds amazing, a Yeti dressed as a ninja, that should be amazing.
Yeah, but no, it's not.
But it's not.
No.
But it's not.
No.
So where do we stand then? Where do we stand with this kind of on the World War III? I mean, as a concept, it has legs.
It does, and it just I don't know.
It's a concept.
Absolutely overkill.
I agree.
It's like I say, it's just like they've obviously looked at the Royal Rumble and went, that works. How can we rip it off without doing exactly the same thing?
Yeah,
and make it better. Well,
the only thing worse than this is the triple cage match: the cage on top of the cage on top of the cage.
Yes, that was terrible.
That's terrible as well. But I think it's that kind of they kind of the people like Karen said earlier, they kind of go, right, we'll do this, and they kind of start doing it without really thinking about it too much. But you kind of get the feeling like. Even though the majority of this may not be the case, but Vince would actually kind of think a bit harder about stuff for pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Even though on Raw he might kind of throw out a stupid skit or whatever, when it comes to pay-per-views, I think he's kind of they'll think things through an awful lot until they kind of get it to a point where it's workable.
Was it not the big difference though between WCW always had that kind of vein that they never quite, especially at this stage, as I say, left behind the whole Deep South banjo playing redneck wrestling.
I think it's the Dusty effect.
Yeah. Because this feels like a dirty finish.
Vince saw it much more as it has to be palatable for television.
Yeah.
Whereas WCW always seemed to not quite have that until obviously the Nitro thing kicked off and the Monday Night Wars and all that kind of stuff. They were doing really well.
Yeah.
There was an element of kind of still at the carnival with WCW.
It wasn't very progressive. It wasn't very kind of forward thinking in its.
It had to appeal to the kind of the hicks basically.
But then when you kind of say a 3-ring 60-man battle royal, that sounds progressive, but it's also so when you actually put it on paper, actually look at it, it looks really stupid.
Yeah,
it does look ridiculous.
It's like every single thing TNA try to do these days.
Yeah.
So, more importantly, where does it stand on the list of pay-per-views we've done so far?
I think it's probably going to have to be bottom.
Yeah, I think overall there's not enough redeeming factors.
I was thinking it was almost better than King of the Ring.
Yes.
No.
If you're looking at it from a laugh at it quality, not as in a actual quality.
At least with King of the Ring 93, you did have the story of Bret Hart, and you had a good Bret Hart perfect match.
Yeah, the Hart perfect,
had quite a good night. Okay, the stuff in between was a bit patchy. But at least you had an overarching story that was convincing.
Kind of makes
sense.
This
does bog all.
Because whatever story they had, like, they build up these stories in the promos, and then when they actually go into the ring, it makes no sense. Like the thing with the Yeti being in different clothes. It's like, that makes no sense. You have to kind of introduce change like that. You can't just like drop that in the middle of a show.
It just happens.
It just happens, and the whole thing. Yeah, no, you're right. Bottom of the pile. This is the worst promo we've ever done.
Yeah, but consequently, it is as a result of that the 4th best pay-per-view of all time.
There you go.
There you go.
So there you go.
You're welcome, WCW.
Yeah, so we're giving you that. It would be interesting though at one point to do a good WCW pay-per-view.
Agreed.
No, in all seriousness, we should.
They do exist.
They do exist. They have had some absolute crackers.
Yeah.
I think of what gets a good Starcade '97 gets a good write-up.
Yeah.
There's stuff from like the late '80s, American Bash '89.
A lot of Clash of the Champions are good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be interesting to do a good WCW pay-per-view because having not really watched WCW back in the day, I'm liking doing this podcast and in this example of watching a pay-per-view I didn't have any emotional attachment to.
Yeah, I was going to mention that because like all the ones you've done so far, I've got some kind of connection to.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas this is just like, I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
And holy shit.
Yeah, I can probably see why I didn't watch it at the time.
But when back in the mid-90s, there wasn't that kind of big VHS distribution for the WCW ones. Obviously, WWF had Silvervision, and there was quite a big section of theirs in the video shops. But WCW never really had that kind of penetration.
It was still a very US orientated product. It was only later into their life, like the late 90s, early 2000s, where they finally expanded out big styles to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Because they were still thematically stuck in the carnival.
Yeah,
stuck in Deep
Hog
South.
Wild shows prove that.
Yeah, Hog Wild. Oh, God, yeah, let's not forget
Let's
that.
take Harlem Heat to a bunch of bikers. Oh, wait, stop saying those things. They're not very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Those words sound bad. Oh, God.
Stop saying those words.
Turn off the camera.
TV,
Turn off the camera. There you go. Good podcast.
It was very good, yeah.
We've firmly
Excellent.
talked about World War III.
Yep.
Indeed.
In a way, I'm glad it's over.
Where do we go from here?
Well, because he wasn't here tonight, and because he's away in the Lake District on a romantic evening, a few evenings away with his girlfriend.
Stop. There's up.
Yeah. Okay.
Too far, Cameron. Too far.
Alan sort of was a bit put out of the fact that we were doing a WCW pay-per-view anyway. So I said, right, what do you want to do? And the other morning when I got into work and before I left for holiday, I went, right, I'm giving you 2 hours. You've got to decide on what we're going to do for episode 5, and we'll do it. No questions, nothing asked,
that was
no
your
doubt
first
about
mistake.
it.
Oh, God.
I was like, you get to pick it, you can pin it down, and we'll do that. We will follow your lead.
I get the feeling we should have been consulted on this.
Well, Al went, well, Cameron, that's an interesting thought.
Fuck.
And he went, give us a couple of hours, then I'll think about it. And so I came back off my lunch, and I walked past the lab, and Al went, I've got it. Episode 5 of the Conquistabores. The 1989 Royal Rumble.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, lordy.
Is that the first one?
It is.
That's the Duggan one, isn't it?
It is the Duggan one.
Oh, boy.
So he then later admitted that he only shows that because he's watched it about 150 times last year. So he doesn't have to watch anything for it, doesn't have to do any notes because he can do it all from memory.
Fair enough.
See, if he picked, I think it must be the 90 Rumble. That's the one I've watched the most.
Yeah, because it's got Ric Flair.
No, not that one.
Oh,
that's
sorry,
91.
92.
Sorry.
The one that has Hogan and the Warrior in towards the end.
Oh, that's it. Sorry, I got the wrong one.
Yeah, with the genius Brutus Barber Beefcake match as well on the undercard. Oh, that's a great Royal Rumble. Should have done that one instead.
Well, sorry lads, it's locked down now. We're doing the 1989 Royal Rumble.
We should have been consulted on this. It should have been consulted.
I promised him. I said, you get to pick to stop you moaning about, why have we done this pay-per-view and I don't like WCW. Blah, blah. You get to pick.
Question. What's going to happen when I start suggesting Japanese shows? Is he just going to outright go no?
We will probably see the extent of Al's casual racism.
Yes.
We won't be casual anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing casual about it. Professional, thank you very much.
We'll just bleep out Al in terms of contribution.
But it does make sense, you know.
So what did you think about Nakamura, Al?
It does make sense thematically. Like we can see, you know, what the Survivor Series got wrong. That's right, what the World War III got wrong in '95, compared to what WWF got right 6 years previously. And kind of as a strange comparison of the two.
Yeah, the odd thing is, it will feature most of the people we've watched in World War III.
But younger and slightly better, I assume.
Yeah.
Well, so there we go.
Dear.
There we go. So, yes, if you want to give us some feedback on that. No one's given us any kind of feedback so far on this at all. I don't know why I say it every show, but I'm going to carry on saying it.
Well, I have emailed the great publication that is Power Slam.
Yeah.
Every month, giving out details, but as of yet, I have had no response. I will keep doing so, though. I will
pester,
bore them to death with every single link we have.
Good work. So yeah, we'll be doing that one next. I'm quite looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should be awesome.
Yeah,
it's an interesting show. I've watched it a few times. It's good fun.
Yeah. So look forward to that. We'll be back to a Fatal 4-Way next week.
You always say week, Phil, and it's monthly.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why. I do. Next episode. There we go.
You're just completely taken by Sonic's Ring, aren't you?
I'm too eager. I'm too eager to do this show. I wish I did it all the time. It's much better.
We should just do it weekly.
Wrestling is amazing. Wrestling is awesome.
Wrestling. Yeah.
End it there, I think. Then.
Pretty much.
Bye.
On wrestling.
The Conquistabores have left the building.
1,000,000%.
1,000,000%.